This morning, I would like to share some details of our visit to our wonderful sister parish in Tanzania, East Africa. While we were there, we stayed in a lodge, and so as we were going to the lodge, I asked the receptionist, "Do you have Wi-Fi here?" And she told me, "No, we don't have Wi-Fi here." And I told myself, never mind, no Wi-Fi, but I have selfie. Then I asked her, "Do you have air conditioning in the room?" And she said, "Yes." And she asked, "What temperature do you want?" So I know they don't use Fahrenheit, they use centigrade. So I converted 70 into centigrade. And I said, I like to have 21 degrees. And then she said, "Do you want 21 hot or 21 cold?" I said, "It doesn't matter." Now it is something like 80 here. And is it 80 hot or 80 cold? I'm still confused. It all depends on your perception. Those of you are fanning, you are having 80 hot, and those of us who are wearing all this is 80 cold. Anyway, it's all in the perception. So our journey took us from San Francisco, you look at the screen, and we went to Amsterdam, about 10 hours of flight. And from Amsterdam, we took another flight to Kilimanjaro International Airport. That was another 10 hours. And, as you can see, Tanzania, or most of Africa, is in the southern hemisphere. So when it is in southern hemisphere, what happens? It's winter there. So many people are thinking it is extremely hot. It's hot here, but cold there. So it was a very cool climate, especially at night, morning, evenings. Only in the afternoon, it was a little warm. So the high was about 75 or 78. It was a very pleasant climate. At the airport of Kilimanjaro, since we are coming with a lot of gifts for our people, the vestments and chalice and ziboria, soccer ball and netball, the custom people caught us. They asked us to open all our boxes. And one of us, a Filipino, had a balikbayan box, and you had to open the balikbayan box. Then they would pull out each of the thing and they say, "Can you say when is the expiry date of this candy?" I said, "We don't know." Anyway, they said you had to pay customs. And they took some of us to the office, and they were calculating how much it would be. And they said it would cost us 200,000 Tanzanian shillings. My goodness. I said, "Where do we have so much money?" But when we converted, it was only $100. Not bad. Not bad. And after about 2 hours ODL in the airport, we proceeded to the Same diocese. That was like on the road for about 4 hours. And we reached at 2 a.m. in the morning. And so there was a priest waiting there, and he showed us the room. And in the room, there was a beautifully printed sheet of paper with our program. 6 o'clock, morning prayer. 6:30, mass with the bishop. 7:30, breakfast with the bishop. 9 o'clock, meeting with the bishop. So we got up and we attended the mass. This is the first mass that we are having at the Same diocese. The celebrant is Bishop Rogoto Kimario. Bishop Kimario was extremely very warm. And after Mass, we took time to, this is a team that went there, and we took pictures with Bishop Kimario, very pastoral, simple man. And this is the staff with Bishop Kimario and those of us the team that went from here. There are sisters and priests working at the bishop's house and at the chancery. And then we had a meeting with the bishop. He explained to us all about the diocese. Then we met the girls in a boarding school there. All the good schools that are there are all boarding schools. So there are 500, these are high school girls, about 500 of them there. And then we set out on our trip to the parish of St. Joseph in Dungu. It's 2 hours on a bumpy road, dirt road, dusty road. And on the way, we met some Maasai tribe people. These are young people of Maasai tribe. And as you can see there, even the young people, they have a stick in hand. Why? That is to protect themselves from wild animals, especially lion. Those areas, they have a lot of wild animals. So always the Maasai people carry a stick in their hand. That's our weapon. Then we reached our parish after 2 hours of long, shaking on the vehicle, and they said it's a music time, dance time. Anyway, when you reached, our tiredness went. A quarter of a mile away, people were waiting there for us. This is what we had. So the parish church from this place of dance was about a quarter of a mile. So they escorted us with the singing and dancing. And this is the outside of the church. It's not plastered. You can see the belfry there. And we immediately fell in love, and they felt comfortable with us. In fact, one little child, climbed to the lap of Irene, one of our parishioners there, enjoying our visit. But as soon as we reached, they did not stop singing or dancing. The dancing and singing continued for next 2 hours. What a wonderful celebration. So after about 2 hours of singing and dancing, we had a meeting with the women of the parish. So that's Amy's head you are seeing. Amy, welcome, address the gathering. And Father Samuel is translating. So they speak Swahili. And the phrase that I learned in Swahili, guess what? Hakuna Matata. Hakuna Matata means no worries, no problem, no worries. So for everything it is Hakuna Matata, okay. So if you ask for anything, oh Father, Hakuna Matata, no worries, okay. And after 1 hour of meeting with the women, we had another 1 hour of meeting with the young adult of the parish. These are the young people of the parish. About 40, 50 of them joined us for the meeting. After the meeting, we had a tour of the pig farm that we have helped to build. If you see that building, we paid for the construction, all of us from the parish. And then they showed us the pigs inside. There are about 40 pigs there, and about 40 young people are having part-time job because of our generosity. And they are also supporting the parish in some small scale, but more importantly, they are supporting themselves. And these are the young people that were waiting for us at the piggery farm. And you can see the next day was a day of celebration, because the bishop came 2 hours on that same dirt road to be with us. In fact, Father Samuel, the parish priest, made sure the visit of the bishop, the confirmation in the parish, and our visit all coincided. This is the welcome for the bishop. They made a makeshift church just outside the church, because the church is too small to contain all the people. So there might have been about 300 people attending the services. You can see the top on top, the tarp is made up of sack, the sack that we have buy grains with and we throw away. They made that, with that they made the roof for that. The pews from the church were taken out and put. The default screen that you have been watching, this was the sanctuary that they prepared. They took out the altar and the ambo from the church, and they prepared a little stage, and that's where we had the mass. And these are all the chalice and the ciboria and set up for the mass. And as mass started, the bishop welcomed us in a very, very special way. Though he spoke Swahili, the mass was in Swahili. For our sake, he spoke here and there are a few words in English. Let's listen to the bishop.
Separated by geography, but we are one and the same thing, whom we experience the same love of Christ, the same faith, the same baptism, the same confirmation which the young people are going to be imparted upon today. So, Father, thank you together with the visitors from California. Most welcome to this day.
During the Mass, there were confirmation for 30 young people. These were the young people. See how devout, how holy looking they are. They are extremely good. And we were several priests who joined. There are several priests who joined for the con celebration, and we prayed over them during the sacrament of confirmation. And every singing, they break into a dance. Listen to the Gloria being sung. The Mass was 2.5 hours long, but we did not feel at all long. Even all the children, they were sitting still for 2.5 hours. How disciplined the kids there are. I was so impressed. And then there was a mealtime. Their main food is ugali. Ugali is made of maize flour, and they make like a paste and they eat. And they prepare sauce with the raw bananas. This was the previous day. The women were preparing the sauce for the meal for 300 people. You can see the raw banana being steamed, and this is the cooking that was taking place before the Mass started. They're using firewood to cook for all the people. So after the meal with all the people, there was an entertainment for another 2 hours. You can see the bishop and walking along as they sing along. At the end of the entertainment, we presented a large check for 63,000 thanks to you, and it was received by the Bishop Kimario, Father Samuel, and other people of the parish. You can see the large check that we presented. And we also gave, netballs and vestments and all the other gifts that we have carried and which we have rescued from the customs. We are able to give to Father Samuel and the parishioners there. They in turn gifted us with a lot of things. You can see the women, they got all dressed up, and they got baskets and brooms and all that. But the best gift is that what I got. They gave me a live goat. So that is it. So since we did not have passport and visa for the goat, we re-gifted the goat back to our sister parish. And so one of these days, they will be killing that goat and having a feast for all the parishioners. Okay. So, I like to share a few reflections. Before that, it was a very tedious journey, tough undertaking. The last day or couple of days when we are visiting the National Park of Serengeti, the vehicle that we are using did not have proper battery. It was always dying. And each time a vehicle would stop, we had to push the vehicle. In the process, I strained my back, and I'm still suffering from a backache. The last day or so, I had something bad. I developed a stomach trouble. I returned home with a diarrhea. And by the grace of God, I am well now. Okay, our reflections. There is so much of need there. We have seen the utter poverty in the parish, poverty of the people there. And in turn, we are abundantly blessed by God. And so we have a responsibility to share our blessings with the less unfortunate. So my message for all of us is, it is better to light a candle than curse the darkness. Dear friends, that's what we are trying to do by supporting our sister parish. Let's always remember to light a candle than curse the darkness. Amen. Thank you.